Okay, we're going to give just a brief overview of what we mean when we talk about data analysis in the context of the RCx Practicum. And one way to think about this is how we had the training module and the functional testing modules that were meant to query the building to get some type of information. And now in this data analysis section, we're going to take that information and try to manipulate it and get some meaningful qualitative or quantitative takeaways about what's happening in our buildings. So there's really two broad goals here. I kind of just alluded to one of them. One is we may want to quantify a problem or an opportunity. So with this break room study, where we were trying to understand what the economics were with energy savings for motion sensors in a break room for one of our buildings, we were really looking for specific numbers that we could take the data logger files that we had in the field and then plug them into a data analysis process and spit out what the savings would be. We also may want to pretty up data so that we can share it or use it as some communicative tool about what's going on in our systems. So there's really two ways we can do both of these functions. One is with Microsoft Excel, and the other is with this piece of software called the Universal Translator in its current version, UT3. So what we're going to do is start by taking an Excel test. So it should take 30 minutes to an hour. If you could follow this link, it's also in the comments section. It's meant for you and us to kind of gauge where everybody's at with their knowledge of Excel. So if you can do things like create this chart that we see here and then have some takeaways about what it's showing you, then you can have a better idea how much self-study you may want to do refreshing on Excel. So I took a random Excel tutorial YouTube series and I plucked out the videos I think are most pertinent to what we do. So starting with formulas, just understanding how we use certain common Excel formulas, and then get more complex from there. So knowing how to filter tables, knowing how to create different charts, knowing how to do different lookup functions, and then finally knowing how to make pivot tables, which is a little bit more advanced. So feel free to branch out from here with some of the YouTube series out there that you'll see linked, but this is kind of the bare minimum that we thought we'd want folks to have a bit of a brush up on before coming to the class. Once you do that, we'd get into some applied Excel. So there's a video on how to create a scatter plot from utility interval data. And then we have an exercise to walk through you creating that same table so you can kind of see and get a comfort feel for how that's done. Then we move into UT3. So there's 3 videos here. There's a lot more in the Universal Translator training video series, but these are 3 that we thought would be good to just kind of quickly acclimate to what UT3 is, about how you import data logger or BAS trend data into the UT3 interface. And in addition to things like resampling data, which is really handy if you have multiple loggers that have different intervals or different trending rates, about how you can resample that and export a nice clean set of data. There's also modules where you can do specific applications of data analysis, like with this lighting load example. And in addition to what we want to do in the field, we're going to be practicing some of this data analysis during the practicum. So feel free to follow the link in the comment section to the Excel test, and thanks for watching.